that we're eating endangered salmon. My argument would be the Endangered Species Act trumps the Marine Mammal Protection Act. But apparently, so I'm offended that Southwest Washington Humane Society would be spending some of our money to do that.
Yep.
And then there's also the thing that each intake over there, if we send an animal over to Southwest Washington, it costs us $55. It costs us 10 over here. And you've got an hour and 15-minute turnaround maybe to go over there and back.
It's 7 o'clock. It's time for call to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Kostin.
Here.
Councilmember Shoemaker.
Here.
Councilmember McDaniel.
Here.
Councilmember Delavar.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Russell.
Here.
Councilmember Greenlee.
Here.
Councilmember Morris.
Here.
It's time of our meeting for public comments, and we will be taking comments from the public in regards to anything that's on the agenda or any city business. Feel free to come and do that and take 3 minutes if you would. Thank you.
I have a few comments. Harvey Olson, 3903 R Street. I wish to thank Councilman Greenlee for last meeting when you updated everybody here on hiring a financial advisor, consultant, whatever you call him. And I think that was a wise move, whatever it costs. I hope the gentleman is worth it, and I hope he's more pessimistic than optimistic on the future of the financial situation in this area. We just got our house valuation by the county, and it's gone down over 40%, and it's free and clear. It is just barely above what it was purchased for 13 years ago. So conditions are not very good, gentlemen. There's also an article in the Columbian about the deficiencies cited in Washougal. And I hope the people, when they read it, understand it's for last year, not this year. The administration of the city has changed, and we have a very reputable city administrator. We have a new mayor who has proven by his long tenures in city government as being very honest. We have a city council that I think right now is probably on a scale of 1 to 10 right at about a 9.9. There are some things you do I don't agree with, but for the most part you vote your conscience and you vote your what you feel is best for the city. And that's all we can ask for as people that come down here and listen and so forth. Again, I wish to thank the Councilman Greenlee and also the job that the Budget Committee has to do is an awesome responsibility. It's going to take a lot of your time, and I certainly would not want to be involved in it. It's just a humongous job. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Could I respond to that very briefly?
Sure, Councilman Greenlee.
I just wanted to say I don't deserve any of the credit for hiring Mr. Lewis. All of that credit goes to the mayor and to our temporary administrator at the time, Lloyd Halverson.
I just appreciated the update.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Don Bolin, 32934 Southeast 20th Street. And I would have made some comments at your workshop last week, but I had to leave early, so I thought I'd come today. I read in the paper, and the only thing I would say, I was hoping the wage freeze would go across the entire city. All the people are good employees. And in fact, when you look at it, there's an awful lot of good employees out there looking for work. But the only thing I was wondering, in your collective bargaining unit, all the contracts I've been familiar with the city or at a union level have an economic crisis clause, which I would think would cover you folks in taking a look at a freeze across the board as opposed to saying, it's only on 15 people. Because they're all good, but we do have an economic crisis. The other thing I was going to bring out, and it's, and I think it's more just to let people know, there was an article in the paper on the Davis-Bacon Act. And the last time I looked, for example, the people out here that are doing flags, they say comparable wages. That's $35 an hour plus $15 benefits. That's $104,000 a year. Now, I don't think that's comparable to the average wage in Washougal. And I think there is work being done in Olympia. But I certainly think you folks is administrating budgets, and there's some theories that says if you could be alleviated from that act, your budgets would be cut by at least a third. And that represents a lot of the money that is what you're looking for during hard times. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Richard Hamby, 37015 Southeast Gibson Road, Washougal. Just a couple questions. First one is actually the same thing I ended with at the last council meeting. I was just wanting to know if Washougal has a ethics policy for members of the council. No one knows?
No specific policy that I'm aware of. There's a state ethics code. I know some of the cities have gone beyond that, adopted some their own ethics codes. I think Woodland, was it Woodland or Battleground? One of the local cities have. No, the city does not have any specific ethics code other than the state code.
Okay, thank you. The other one, back at your August 2nd meeting, this council voted to remove the interim improvement plan for Highway 14 from the funding list. And at the time, Councilman Russell said that we would only lose 2 or 3 years by stepping out of line, and it was worth it to ditch the roundabouts. With the state's current budget problems and with the grim outlook for future state highway funding, I'm concerned that there might not even be a line to get back into, and that we might have been set back much more than 2 or 3 years. Where do we stand now on the issue of interim improvements on the highway?
Well, one thing to consider in this regard, and maybe